At this time, we do have audience participation. If you would, step forward to the microphone, give your name and address for the records. Council Rule 21 does limit each speaker to 5 minutes, and a total limitation of 15 minutes per subject. And when you get down to 1 minute left, I'll silently indicate that you have that time so you can summarize your presentation.
Yeah, my name is Keith Richter, 343 East Water Street. Regarding the item for the transfer of 2 unmarked vehicles from the police force and so forth, as an item of clarification, I guess these were used to patrol as unmarked vehicles during the dark hours. Does that mean that the police are discontinuing patrolling in unmarked cars during the dark hours, or they got another set of vehicles or other cars they're going to be using?
If you'd like to respond, go ahead.
Yes, Mr. Richter, they're currently using the same vehicles they have now. And if this ordinance passes, they'll take those 2 vehicles and replace them with 2 other vehicles.
So they're going to replace them. They're still going to continue
Correct.
the after dark hours unmarked vehicles.
Correct.
Very good. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Anybody else, please, like to speak?
Yeah, my name is William Barnhart, 373 McKellar. Don't have to worry about the bag problem, but I still think the city council ought to think about throwing a little tax on them. But my main thing here tonight is I got some literature about the cell phone accidents, risk, state laws in different states. There are 7 states now that have a cell phone law. I'd like to make sure council president and the mayor gets a copy of these, because they seem to be the holdup on this cell phone issue. Because it needs to go back to council, and we need to chair it. I just want council president and the mayor and city council members just to take as much time to read this as I did to put it together, and I would be happy.
Very good. Thank you. Anybody else like to speak this evening, please?
My name is H.R. Grimm. I live at 33 Limestone Boulevard here in Chillicothe. President Arnold, members of City Council, administration, it's a long tradition in our nation that anytime that there's a government proceeding, that clergy are here to open in prayer. This is the 2nd week in a row, or the 2nd time in a row, that clergy have not been here. I've spoken with them, and in the past there has been a reminder. Having been a pastor, a lot of things come along that disrupt our schedules. And because we're caring for life and eternity issues with our members of our congregation, it's very easy to forget that they have the obligation, if you will, to come and open in prayer, especially when they've been scheduled. Most pastors take off Monday, and so this is really a sacrifice on their part to come in and participate. May I encourage council, may I encourage the president, please send a reminder to those that are on schedule. I am not aware that there is a schedule, but I'm sure it's gone out. My understanding that this is the 3rd time. Mr. Cross was actually one of those that filled in one time. But this is twice in the last 2 times. And I know that if we've ever needed God to bless us and ask for his blessing, it's now. So I just want to encourage you and council to please remind the clergy that are on the schedule. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else like to speak, please?
My name is Fred Jigling. I live at 668 East Water Street, and I'm here again to speak for the bow hunters, Chillicothe. Since I was here a week or so ago, I went down through the city park, and I also talked with your president about locations to put straw bales up in the city I also checked with a good friend of mine that I graduated with, and he's a farmer. And I can get all the straw bales at $2 a bale, so I don't think it's going to bankrupt our city to put them down there. When bow hunting and Target is over with, they can take them to the dump out on Marietta. It'd be no place that they have to worry about storing anything. Most of the bow hunters use their own targets, so all they'd have to do is put them on there. And when I talked to your president, I told him that there's 2 locations and both of them are in the city park. Years ago, I do know there's a lot of younger people than I am, but I'm old enough to remember that there used to be an archery range at the bottom of the hill from where the water company is now. And there used to be an archery range there. What happened? I couldn't tell you. And he agreed with that. He said, yes, that'd be a good place. And then he brought it up about over at the annex. There's 2 places, and they're both safe. So I hate to say that the archers, a man that want to help to cut down the deer population in part of our city, gets this right taken away from them of sighting in their bow. So I just ask it, think this over. It wouldn't take much, and I'll go out of my way. If you people go ahead and want to do that, I will go out and get the straw and haul it to the city for you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Would anybody else like to speak this evening? Okay. If not, then we will move into old business. Does anybody have any old business this evening? Mrs. Haynes.
Thank you, President Arnold. I'd like to just give a little bit more input into the need for the utilities rate increase. One of the concerns that I've heard in the past is that the city needs to be more responsible with maintenance so that our facilities and equipment don't get so bad that we face an emergency situation. The utilities department has been extremely good with maintenance and upkeep, and they've been very forward-thinking. They look at the needs of the community and work to address them. I've taken tours of both the water treatment plant and the wastewater treatment plants and was very impressed with the facility planning and maintenance. Much of the current equipment in the wastewater treatment plant was installed in 1986, almost 24 years ago. The life expectancy of some pieces of this equipment, such as the grinders, is 25 years, so we're getting close to the time that this equipment's going to need replacing. The centrifuge, which is the piece of equipment that thickens the sludge so more can be stored in a smaller area, is just about worn out and is going to need to be replaced in the near future. In addition, new regulations from different agencies, such as the EPA, require our treatment facilities to make changes to meet new standards. For instance, restaurants use lots of grease. New directives say that waste treatment plants can't land apply grease anymore. Restaurants were dumping grease down the sewer, and you know what happens when you do that. It hardens in the pipes and clogs the sewer lines. That requires the sewer department to go out and clean out sewer lines. The wastewater treatment plant is currently working with restaurants to help meet these grease disposal standards. Currently they are working, one of the things that the plant wants to do is to buy equipment and a storage tank to break down the grease right here in town. Currently what they have to do is collect the grease in grease traps and then have a company from out of town come and collect it. The city of Newark started doing this, and not only does it save the restaurant owners money, but it also generates revenue for the city. We also need to increase our sludge storage capacity with a new tank. There are very specific rules to be followed in regard to disposing of sludge, and we have to have the capability to store it until we can meet these required conditions. The automatic increase of 2% every other year amounts to only 1% annually, which does not even keep up with inflation. Our water and wastewater treatment plants have been run efficiently and have served our community very well in the past, and I want to make sure that we provide for our future and good services in the future. Thank you.